Hello, everyone. It's Miss Helen, producer Kyle. This is that time of the week, the Texas Toast Podcast Tap Room. We've got some new singles to talk about. And then I came up with this real genius idea. I'm on this trifecta thing, like the stage trifecta music festival. Stick around to the end. We'll have that coming up and taking a look at what's popping and topping and everything going on in Texas country industries.
Go!
It's producer Kyle and Miss Helen. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, just another Friday in paradise. How are you?
I'm doing good. I got all my Mardi Gras toys out. I've been decorating. 'Cause
Yeah.
I love to get the beads out and the different little things that I have up and down the staircase, and like I go all out. So Mardi
Does
Gras time.
does that line up like that every year where it's like you said Mardi Gras,
Mm.
Super Bowl, and Valentine's?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm calling it the
Wow.
trifecta this year. Mardi Gras, Valentine's Day, Super Bowl.
Wow.
Like, yeah, fun times for everybody to
Mm-hmm.
get together. Like, I'm into this trifecta thing. Like, I know we got to get into music. I'll talk about another one on
Sure,
down the
sure.
road as we go on down here. And it's called My Dream Show. My Dream Three Trifecta Band. I would love to see all three play together. We'll talk about that towards the end.
Okay, cool. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
exciting. So we got some awesome music.
Yeah, let's
Oh
run
my
through it because
gosh.
I want to hear your trifecta.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Out to Radio, this is I guess a particularly new group. They are
Mm-hmm.
mainly saturated like Waco, North Texas area. Everybody get to know Ghost of Hill County. They have a radio single out called Nicotine, and basically it's like that love that's like nicotine. You can't break the habit and you need
Mm.
to just let go of me. And it's just such a strong like the going into the intro
Yep.
immediately strong, and then Randall is the name of the lead singer. He's just got that rocky, gritty kind of, but at ease kind of voice. Like it's just
Yeah.
so easy. Just tight band, great lyrics. Old habits are hard to lay to rest. So good, so bad. But it's like, I mean, you got to check it out. It's called Nicotine,
Mm.
and I think you'll be addicted to them and the song.
Oh,
So
I love
again,
that.
that's Ghost of Hill County, Nicotine. I like it. I really like want to follow them. I think they should be potentially on the podcast
Oh
along
yeah.
with this person that we're going to open the tap room for. This is such a happy song. It covers so many things, especially just country living, good old, just good old life. Okay. This is Cameron Wrinkle. The name of the song is In My Heaven. I think he covered it all. Cameron Wrinkle, In My Heaven, and this debuted like shot up the charts. I mean, like just
Mm.
popped up there. I just love everything about it. Talking about think about the truck starting every time. You don't have to have a cooler because your beer is cold all the time. And then every cast you catch a bass,
Yeah.
trout in my case.
Mm.
So oh man, what a solid song. And he's got, he again, he's like one of those cradle musicians. He started playing fiddle like at 3, it says in his bio.
Wow.
And
Jesus,
comes
that
from
is
like a
crazy.
fifth, yeah, from a fifth generation family of musicians. So Cameron would definitely be a good visit here on the podcast. So awesome stuff. And of course, that's a title cut to his current album that came out in October entitled In My Heaven. So I just really am loving that. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Next.
Well, absolutely. And sorry, just to continue on Cameron, I told you beforehand, I was like, didn't we talk about this already? But that song's just so great that I remember when we covered the other song, one of his singles off that record, that song just stood out to me, and it's been like stuck in my head ever since then. I like, typically I listen to these songs when we're picking them, and then for a few weeks afterwards, and then get distracted with other songs. As you know, unfortunately, that's just kind of the way this works for us. But God, that song is still so fresh in my mind from when the album dropped, and it's wonderful. So yeah, good stuff. I'd love to have Cameron on. I'll holler at those guys and see if we can make that happen. Okay, let's keep the tap room going. I hadn't even thought about what song I want to do. Eeny, meeny,
Oh
miny, mo.
man, it's hard. It's hard. They're so good. I was thinking that, I mean, like, okay, okay, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I'm about to with Colby Cooper already. I'm about to lose my shit over
Okay.
how great he did that song.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Me too. Me too. All right. Let's do that then. So tap room doors are still open, wide open, and it's a cover. It's a trend that we're following here in Texas, and it's Colby Cooper covering Little Texas's "My Love." My mind is blown. Like you said, you're about to bust. Colby
Hey,
is.
I'm gonna throw him a bead.
I love that. he's the king of like sad breakup songs. He's like the happiest married father with kids, you know. But he also
Mhm.
is into all the same music that I grew up on, like alternative rock, pop punk, Blink-182. So like of all the covers that he could have done, I never would have seen this one coming. But oh my God, they killed it. It's like it was
I have
so good.
I'm going crazy. I have
Yeah.
never heard a cover song covered as good as Colby did it.
And his voice sounds amazing, you know, like I said, it's
Mhm.
very alternative influenced and all of his writing and stuff has been, but god damn, he's like a not that I didn't know this, but yeah, that dude is a country singer. Man, just props, bravo. That was fantastic.
Yes.
And I love that everybody's honoring Little Texas. It's super cool that this is just kind of like a recurring thing throughout the year, I guess. Hopefully there's more to come.
I'm specifically really loving it because that was my jam for
Hmm.
sure for
Yeah,
years.
absolutely. Okay, and then moving on, my next one, Bree Bagwell. We've been anticipating this one for a while. It's The Rescue, and it's about damn time we got a song about whiskey.
I'm telling you, I'm sure that's one of many, but you're so right. I've been waiting and waiting, but
Yeah.
the way this is wrapped up and so emotional, and everybody, when the video comes out, you really have to see that.
Yep.
I'll let you
Definitely.
take it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's so this one was written with Helene, you know, so they've been just kind of a dynamic duo, or I guess dynamic trio, considering the one they put out or they wrote with Sarah Hobbs and Sarah released last year. But man, it's a creative play on words, you know, it's themes that we've heard before and used. But if it weren't for that album cover and if it weren't for that one line in the song that you'll hear when you go check it out, you wouldn't even ever know that this was about a dog, you know?
Mhm. I
So
know,
I just
right? Hmm.
I thought it was great, and they did a really cool stripped down production. I think it was all recorded by Paul. I could be mistaken. I'm not sure. I just remember when they were demoing it, and I think that it just came out so great. That's what they ended up using. So good stuff. I like it. You know, her record is pretty rock and roll, pretty powerful, big. So it's cool to hear like this very heavy, very emotional song in a very simplified production. So I think they did a
And
great job.
I look for that song to get picked up so much by animal rescue organizations
Oh,
and
totally.
yes, I mean, it's like that's gonna be a big deal. And
Hmm.
it's from her heart. I mean, that is like some true love with her and her dog whiskey.
Oh yeah.
That is like true love right there. That's a
Hmm.
bond that no, I mean, like unbreakable. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
definitely. I agree. All right, let's go ahead and talk about our friends over at More Than Music Creations. I actually had a really nice chat with Michaela this morning, and we talked about, you know, some big plans, some ideas for this year. We're going to have our Texas Toast merch line on our merch store very soon when that launches. We'll share all that with you guys and all the kind of cool stuff they're up to. So if you head over to morethanmusiccreations.com, you can stay in the loop with them. You can find our Texas Toast specific line. There's a couple different color options and things, along with
Mhm.
all the other artist options. And man, they're just you know, I learned a lot about Michaela when we talked earlier, and she's just the artistry behind the brand. You can see it when you look at the pictures on the website, but now I just have even more of an understanding of, you know, the passion and the creativity that goes into this stuff that they're
Mhm.
creating. And I just love what they're doing. You know, that's that they support us, and we absolutely love supporting them. So we're so honored to have them as a, you know, a part of our team. And um, we're just begging you to go check out morethanmusiccreations.com because it's just the coolest thing on
You won't
earth.
regret it. Will not regret it. And of course, Valentine's Day is up on us. That's a good thing too to check out morethanmusiccreations.com. Have you ever wondered how artists like Treaty Oak Revival, Red Clay Strays, and Aaron Watson maintain the high quality and high demand for their merchandise? CH Lone Star Promo is the answer. Created in Texas to serve Texas artists, and they're currently offering 15% off on all merch orders from musicians. Visit chlonestarpromo.com to get started and tell them Texas Toast sent you.
I was reading the other day that it takes at least $1 million to break an artist. That's a ton of change, and it can feel overwhelming. But with social media leveling the playing field, you just need an effective strategy to release your music. Check out Release Rocket to ensure your single does not die after release day. You've already put time, effort, and tons of money into writing and recording your album. Let the guys at Release Rocket keep your new release alive.
Speaking of that, we'll talk about what's kind of charting, popping, and topping. Top of the charts, Cody Jinks, Outlaws, and Mustangs. He's got him a number one on that.
Yeah.
Uh, Kylie Fry, we talked about Miss Thing last week. Like she was just like kind of bubbling under on the Texas country music chart, like in the low 100s. She busted out to number 49 in this
Oh,
on the
wow.
sixth record. I mean, it just zoom. Wyatt Flores, he has a new radio single out that's doing good, but Charlie Crockett's killing it with this song called $10 Cowboy. It's on the
Hmm.
radio. Check that out. And so yeah, a couple people in the studios want to talk about. I saw where O'Toole, he's been writing songs in Maine, so he's finally going in the studio to record some of those.
Yeah,
That's my boy. He can't help himself.
he's all over the
And
place.
then my other boy, see my shirt, I got my Trent Kelly. I
Yeah.
ordered it, and you can support Trent. This is called his Record Maker Collection. I like
Hmm.
how it says support independence, and he's in the studio as well. And he's got some stuff coming. I think in a couple of weeks he's going to be
Yeah.
dropping a single. We got to get in touch with him on that.
Yep.
So darn proud of him. He's doing so good.
Yeah,
A lot
I'm
of stuff,
so
a lot of
stoked to
stuff
hear
going
that new
on.
one. Yeah, we'll definitely cover that
Mhm.
here on the show for sure. I just wanted to mention a few other artists, friends of the show that have songs dropping this week, and it's a heavy list. Christopher Seymour is a dude from Houston that I really, really enjoy, and we've covered some of his songs, but he dropped a new one today. It's got a really awesome, cool, like honest lyrical chorus. He does a lot with South Texas Tweak. If you guys remember how we had him on the
Oh
show a
yeah,
while back, so it's kind of in
yes.
that cool Charlie Crockett vein, very songwritery, and I dig it a lot. Also, Hayden Baker, Jared Morris, Chad Cook Band all had new songs out this week, and Michael Kelton from More Than Music Creations actually drops the song on Valentine's Day this coming week that Michaela was kind of telling me about the story, and so I'm sure we'll cover that next week on the podcast. But look out for that one. It's from what I've heard so far, it's pretty outstanding. So go check that
Oh,
one out.
that's exciting. And we got to cover the Chad Cook. I heard a little snippet of the Chad Cook.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything that how I am with them, anything they do is good. So a few tidbits that pick kind of caught my attention this week. I think it's so cool. Ken Fo is finally playing headlining Billy Bob's. Did you see
Oh
that?
yeah, I did see
I
that.
didn't. Yeah, yeah. And then Hayden Baker was on the podcast with us, and I don't know if he had mentioned it during the podcast or if we had talked
The
about it that he was
awards.
going to be. Yes, and
Oh my
dude,
God.
he got interviewed by Julia
I
Morales. That is
saw
so cool.
that. That is the
Yes.
cool. That was probably. I bet he was like shaking. I mean, maybe not. He's pretty cool, but
Wow.
God, I would have been so nervous. Like, oh my God, I've seen you on TV so many times.
No, she's amazing. She's like she knows her
Yeah.
sports stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, so we had a good week of interviews this week on the podcast and well to kind of I guess I can say we've got a podcast coming out with the newly branded Mike and the Pies Silverado. And
Hmm.
as I was listening to his music, and you know how I love these other two groups. So my trifecta dream show would be, y'all ready for this? Check this out. Western Express, The Broken Spokes, and Silverado. Boom.
Whoa. Oh my
I'm
God.
done. I'm done. Would anybody like to budget that and sponsor it? I would so make it happen.
Holy crap. We could probably make that happen. We should do
Talk
that.
about you talk about crazy music. I mean,
Don't
and
you?
that is just one little teeny tiny
Right. Little tiny
molecule
sliver.
piece of Texas country music.
Oh
And
man,
just
that's
in
insane.
those three, it's
Can you?
dynamic.
And the Texas Toast Fest just has like a
Oh,
nice
oh,
little
I got the
twinkle to
chills.
it.
I did. I got
Holy
the
shit.
chills.
That's
It's
heavy,
crazy.
man. That show would be outstanding. Good Lord.
Oh,
And then let's see, what else did I have this week? Well, I mean, I guess we might as well talk about it. We had Will Carter on this week. It was fantastic. We've had Will on before. But he Will Carter is the example of a hardworking person,
mhm.
hardworking musician, and long-term success. We see all kinds of artists like skyrocket and hit this like crazy mainstream fame and then just unfortunately
Here's
fall off
Will.
because you can't sustain. Will's just steadily climbing. And he has been for years and years and years, and he's just growing, expanding his fan base, honing in on his sound, making his music better and better and better, and just steady climbing. And he gave us lots of good advice on how that's done. So people like me, and imagine a lot of people who listen, there's so much to learn from that in that episode. And then moving on to next week, this Tuesday, Parker McCollum.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. We got to talk to Parker about all kinds of cool stuff. We talked about it was a lot more casual than usual, honestly. We talked about like who his babysitter was when he was a kid. We talked about
Yeah.
getting to ride the horse out at the rodeo and some other cool stuff like
Yes,
that.
just we just had a good old visit. I mean,
Yeah,
because it's one of those things where Parker, everybody knows the music library, the catalog, and it was just a nice catch up kind of
yeah,
visit. And I shared a
absolutely.
story that was a true story that he had shared on stage when I introed him at our fair a few years ago, and he's another one just
Yep.
watching grow, and literally, it's just a testament to his work ethic from when he was young all the way into
Hmm.
the music business and just getting out there and doing it. And he's so good at what he does.
Yep, and honoring his roots too, being proud of
Hmm.
where he's from and coming back to Texas even now. He's no longer in Nashville, he's back in Texas. So, anyways, we can talk about that forever, but just go listen to the podcast. Drops on Tuesday. Um, if you guys like what we're doing, like we always say, get to the business, but you can literally pause wherever you're listening right now and give us a quick 5-star review. It takes like 1 second to do so. It would mean the world to us. It's so helpful. If you're watching on YouTube, just hit the little subscribe button if you haven't already, and then hit that thumbs up. Otherwise, just share with some friends. Like Helen has been talking about a lot lately. We've got a massive catalog of episodes. There's like, I don't know, like 300 podcasts that we've done now over the last couple of years, and half of those have been with unique individual artists. So there's so much to learn. There's so much good music to find. There's so much education to be had and history. So there's definitely something for every single person out there.
I like that history part. There's a lot of history in our podcast.
Yeah,
With stories being shared and some of the people that have been on, like, yeah, we
yeah,
go on and on. It never ceases to amaze me because every now and then I'll run across a new release from one of the artists that's been on the podcast, and it's like, you know, did they mention such and such or whatever? I'll kind of scroll through because I want to go back and say whoever, whatever it was,
right, right, right.
and go through, and it's like it just never ceases to amaze me, like all the names are I'm scrolling through and it's like, oh, just good people, just such good stuff.
Yep.
So proud. And yeah, so speaking of history, we're gonna 3 years coming
Hmm.
up, and March 16th we'll be celebrating, so I want everybody to come out for that.
Yep, you can grab tickets at dosidotickets.com. You scroll down to March 16th, or you could just go to kylegarrettmusic.com and it's right there. It'll say 316 Texas Toast Bash. We got Paige Lewis, Charlie McCabe joining us. We're planning all kinds of fun stuff too behind the scenes. So it's going to be, it's a concert, and you're buying tickets to come to a concert and celebrate Texas Toast with us. But Miss Helen will be very involved. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We're going to be doing some unusual things, but it's all in the name of a good time. So I'm just
Yes,
excited
it'll
for it to
just be
happen.
it'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just on a quick side note, speaking of history, we lost
Oh,
an important historical figure this week, and it's been pretty wholesome and heartwarming, honestly, to see all the you know just all the respect being paid to him this week.
yeah.
We've known about. I guess for anybody who doesn't know, talking about Toby Keith, he passed
Toby
this week,
Keith.
but he's been having a health struggle publicly for a couple years now, and I think privately for a long time before that. But he's been out playing shows, and I've just seen some really really cool videos of him, singing on stage for the last couple times, and um, whether you were a Toby Keith fan or not, he made a massive mark on music in general. I mean, I remember being a kid and traveling around the country and hearing his music in different states and stuff. And even now, when I've
Mhm.
been on the road, it's like you think that country music's isolated, but it's not. It is worldwide. Like that dude made a
Well,
massive
and
mark.
yes. And then not only as a fan of his music and memories with the songs, but being in radio and being able to play Toby Keith. And when How Do You Like Me Now came out, and
Yep,
courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue at the timing, when it
yep,
just so many of his songs, I mean, just staple music. And he was such a great guy. Like,
yep.
I adored him. So
Hmm.
that was
Absolutely.
that was a hard one. He was only 62.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very unfortunate and sad week. I know that, a lot of our friends of the show posted about it and are feeling the weight of it this week, but he's, very well respected and very honored for a reason. So that's awesome. I mean, as
And
awesome as it can be, I think.
I like how there was just one big statement with the red Solo cup getting passed around social media. I
Yeah,
thought
I
that was
saw
that was
I
great.
saw Palmer Anthony actually tweeted out, just said I'm only drinking out of red Solo cups the rest of the year. So it's pretty
Hmm.
cool. And on a lighter note, switching gears completely, I have a couple other things I wanted to talk about. But did you see Keller Cox's tour announcement?
I sure did.
Huge.
Yeah.
That dude is on the road the whole first half of the year. That's so awesome.
Hmm.
Super proud for him. He signed with Deep Roots, and I think it's called Make Wake Artists, who is management for Flatland and Panhandlers
Hmm.
and a couple other artists. And he is just killing it. I always think about that first time we met him on the red carpet with Corliss 3 years ago or whatever, and he
He was
was just
amazing.
this like
So sweet.
chipper, sweet young dude just getting started. And now he's like out here touring the country, just tearing it up.
Well, and he had a plan and he was sticking to it. He graduated from college, got married,
Yep.
and went straight to the career.
Yep.
And boy, he's
And he
doing a
did
great
it.
job. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Does 125 million ring a bell?
125 mil.
Who gets paid that much money?
Hang on. Is this a joke?
It's a quiz.
125 million. Oh, it's got to be baseball.
Yeah.
Yes.
You still love it.
Altuve for life. Altuve for
Yep. Yep.
forever an
Yep.
Astro, and Dubon got re-signed, and then
Yep.
we signed Josh Hader. So whose salary is that?
Altuve's extension.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay.
So he's an Astro for life, like you said. That's awesome news. That's we've lost some real key people, but as long as Altuve's there, I think we've still got a chance to hang in there. If anything, just for it to be entertaining to watch. But 125 million bucks for, I think, what was it, a through 2029, so I guess a 5-year extension, maybe 6.
I just think that's
So
so cool.
yeah,
He'll,
shitload of money.
yes.
Let's not get into that, but whatever they got to do to keep him around, I'm happy.
hmm Yeah, I'm looking for. But see, again, we got Valentine's Day, Mardi Gras, Super Bowl.
And then
Pitchers,
baseball.
catchers will be reporting. It's like, oh, I can
Yep.
smell it in the air. I can smell
Hmm.
spring in the air. Gosh, thank you, Lord. Get through January and February. Lord have mercy.
Well, so speaking of that and wanting to get away from the winter, I am running straight to the winter this weekend.
Yeah.
Me and Caitlin are going out to Santa Fe to hit the slopes. We're gonna be doing a little skiing, so really excited for that. Get our probably our last little bit of cold for the year, which is never exciting for me, but whatever. We gotta do what we gotta do.
Right. Well, y'all will have fun. I know you enjoy that
Yeah,
skiing. That's
absolutely.
awesome.
I just love it out there too. Just Santa Fe, it's so cool. There's I don't know, whatever. We can talk about that forever. It's a cool place. If you
Yeah.
need somewhere to go, somewhere new, go to Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. You know what it made me think of? I don't know why it made me think of this. Okay, so I'm going to share something. This was really cool. So I went to a different yoga class today, not with my regular instructor. And
Hmm.
so then we had this little card draw where we draw cards, and they had like little statements and little inspirational things. And mine that I got was do something you're afraid of.
Oh.
Think about that. Do something that you're afraid of. Like take 3 deep breaths. We did all the breathing and everything today.
Hmm.
And then it's like I drew that card and I was like, oh, there are some things. I mean, I'm not scared of a lot of things, but maybe there's things out of my comfort zone, and you're kind of
Hmm.
familiar with some of those. And it's like, hmm. So I got it pinned up where I can look at it.
Yeah.
So, okay,
So
I
when
got to
that
do
time
something I'm afraid
comes,
of.
okay. I can probably give you some ideas.
I mean, it's not like jumping off a roof or anything
Sure,
like
sure,
that,
sure.
but just like,
Well, yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I'm excited to hear how you end up checking that off. That's cool.
yes. So that's a little challenge for everybody.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to wrap it up.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.